Thank you very much. I look forward to this time, and what a great meeting this has been. Just an extraordinary meeting this has been. Guy, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. And the best meeting about this is all of the people in this room. Over 556 representatives from our chapters, 180 plus board members, first, and the very best. But before I get started, I want to take a moment and say thank you to the First Tee of Nashville, the Tennessee Golf Foundation, Steve, Dick, and Thelma. Thank you very much for hosting us in Nashville. I also want to take a moment and say this meeting is here because I travel a lot. Because when I travel, the entire staff at the home office is sitting in a conference room planning these meetings. And when I travel and I call Roberta, can't get an answer, call Jane, can't get an answer, call Kelly, can't get an answer, I know they're in that conference room planning this meeting. They've done a wonderful job. Will all of my colleagues from the home office please stand up, and can we recognize your efforts? Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a journey, a very focused journey, a journey that we really don't and can't define the end destination, but it's a journey that allows us to have an incredible impact on the lives of young people throughout this country and the world. A journey that challenges us, a journey that provides with great opportunities, but nevertheless a journey. So when you think about a journey that doesn't have a clear ending point or destination, how do you know whether or not you're successful? Well, we have these wonderful stops. And for some people, a stop might be the first time your board learned that you were going to go forward with the First Tee, when we signed a letter of intent with you. Another bright stop might be when you first attended coach training. Another bright stop might be when you received that first smile for that young person who all of a sudden got the word respect and understood how it works. Or another bright stop when several of the young people understood responsibility and integrity. Well, as we go down this journey, it's all about what are the bright stops that we have that keep us going and keep us encouraged. That school teacher who said, I really don't understand, but all of a sudden these young people, because of golf, are working differently, thinking differently, focused differently. Another bright stop, that superintendent who says, what are you doing with all of my schools? And the parent who writes you the email and says, why is my son different? Why is my daughter much more confident? Why are we experiencing what we're experiencing? Ladies and gentlemen, this journey is your journey. It is our journey. It's our journey because it's important for us to recognize what we can do and what we're able to do. I said over and over again that the why of all of this is really simple. We live in a very challenging times. We live in a challenging times where our young people have more before them than ever any of us had when we were growing up. We talk about the graduation rates, and 25% of the young people in this country never finish public school or don't finish at time. 25%, and in some schools, as you know, 50%, 60% dropout rates. Not acceptable along our journey. And the other number you know, 1 in 3, 33% of our young people are obese and overweight. And Dr. Barkin and Annika really shared with us the importance of how we talk to them and get their parents engaged along this journey. The journey is one that is fun, it's exciting, it's one that gets us motivated, but the journey is important, but the outcomes are significant. Every one of you in this room can tell us over and over again of what you do at your chapters and the smiles and the gratification that you receive because of the young people that you serve. When we talked about setting this 10 million objective, and I sort of framed it when we were in San Antonio, I said every single one of you have your own personal story or stories on this journey. And you know the young people that are very different because of what you've done and how your chapter has embraced them, how your coaches have mentored them. And then I said to you, think of all the young people in your communities that don't have available to them the first tee. Think of where they are versus the ones that you've touched. And that's when I think everyone started to understand the importance of our drive to reach more young people. We talked about the fact that our platform is significant. It's outstanding. The curriculum works. The mentoring works. The coaches are terrific. The training works for them. And then we asked ourselves, do we have a duty, obligation, and responsibility to reach as many young people conceivably as possible with the wonderful programs that you manage? And the answer, of course, was yes, yes, yes. And that's because when you have something good, you have two choices. You can sit on your laurels, and you can be very comfortable with what you're doing, or you can challenge yourself to take that risk, to go out there and say, yes, we do have that duty, we do have that responsibility, we do have that obligation to share with everyone what we can do and what we do so well. And I am very thankful to each and every one of you for embracing and taking on that challenge. As I've traveled around the country, after we've launched the 10 million phase 4, it is amazing to me of how you have embraced that challenge, how you do think it's a duty, an obligation, and responsibility. And for that, I thank you very much, because you see the outcomes in your communities. You are building your platform from the 750 to the 1,250 that we need. You're growing your coaches, you're growing your volunteers. And I can tell you, and you know me as well as anybody, is I love to set stretch goals. So when I thought I was being very confident saying we're going to move these donors from 34,000 to 68,000 by 2017, you just blew me away with 53,000 donors. I mean, that is extraordinary work for all of you guys. We don't know how much the grants are going to be, but our forecasts are the grants could be somewhere between $2 million to $3 million, which means you raise $4 to $6 million. That's extraordinary work. And I remember how many have said, oh, this chapter matching grant program, I don't know how to get the donors, I don't know if I can get the donors. But you know what you did? You remembered that you had a duty, obligation, and responsibility, and part of the challenges was to build your resources, and we helped you along the way. Because at the end, we want your budgets to grow from the $52 million that they are now to about 75 or 80 million. That's what you're going to need to implement the program and reach 10 million young people. So you should be very proud of what we're doing. But more importantly, you should be thankful for the opportunity to do what we do. Because we all have choices, and we can have challenging choices. But you know, to be able to get in this business of the first tee and do such incredible work that you've done, you should all feel very, very proud. I have a video I want to share with you because we always continue to ask ourselves, why? And I just want to reflect a little bit and let this video share with you why I think the why. Do you feel that you can give them 5 more years? Do you feel that you can give them 5 more years? Is it essential for us? Do we have a duty, obligation, responsibility to give them 5 more years? That's what our program does. It gives them the understanding, the focus, the drive, the abilities to understand the challenges, the judgment to make the right decisions, the confidence to go forward, and the responsibilities that they have to themselves and their community. That's what you do. If you know a bit, and I know a little bit, not much at all, about African history, there's a tribe in Africa called the Maasai. And the Maasai were warriors, and they were nomads. And the Maasais would roam the southern Sahara, and they would do hunting and so forth. They'd go out in big bands or small bands, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 individuals. And if a Maasai was walking down a road and you were coming up the other way, his greeting to you would be, and how are the children? And how are the children? Not hello, what's up, how are you doing, good morning, good afternoon, and how are the children? And the response of the other traveler would be, the children are well. The children are well. You wonder why an entire culture has that as a greeting. And maybe because of the nomads that they were, they recognized that their culture was fundamentally built on the ability of their children to succeed them in all the responsibilities of managing that village or that tribe. And they understood the importance of giving and caring and taking care of those children, because without such, the children wouldn't be there to take care of their elders or to perpetuate their culture. And how are the children? The children are well. Think about that in our society. If every one of us greeted each other by saying, "And how are the children?" what would that say to us as a society? You know, we are so busy. We drive, we fly. We are so focused on all the challenges in this busy industrial society. But how many times do we stop and think, and how are the children? Ladies and gentlemen, we are about the children. We are about our participants. We are about making sure that it works. And so as we think about the abilities to have societal change, and that's what our ambition is, because it's not about the 10 million young people, it's really about the 30 million that we're going to reach. It's really about their parents. It's about their brothers. It's about their sisters. It's about their friends. It's about influencing them away that they will not do those things that are wrong. You've heard me read the quotes about before the first tee, I didn't always know what was so good. I did what my parents or my friends said, and that wasn't always so good. But the first tee has taught me goal setting. You've heard me talk about the participants who said, we didn't know what we were going to do, and my friends think the first tee is sort of not very good, but they won't think it's not very good when I go on to college. And how many young people are you responsible for going to college because of the work that you've done? Because the children are well. Because the children are well. So think about what we are doing today, and think about the challenge that you have tomorrow. And think about those simple words. And how are the children? And how are the children? The children are well. I mean, when I hear that, it just makes me excited about the work that we're doing. We're doing extraordinarily good work. Exceptional work, and our partnerships with other organizations, because we're not doing it alone, are essential to our success. We are leveraging what we do so well. We're sharing with what we do so well with other organizations as we go forward, because we have this duty, obligation, and responsibility for the children to be well. Does that make sense? Does that excite you? Does that sort of confirm what we're doing and why we're here? A yes would be good. Okay, all right, enough of this. We're just getting a little lolly here, right? Okay, so here I am in the middle, right? I'm in the middle. Okay. This side, over here. And the children are well. And how are the children? No, I didn't do that right. You say, and how are the children? You say, and how are the children? And how are the children? The children are well. 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 All right, all right, the first tee, 10 million more. Stand up. Thank you.